lives. We can't allow it to continue. If we hadn't have done this, what would he have done further down the road?
When the police ask you to stop, you stop.
You see, I've always wondered growing up, whenever I see extremely violent individuals attacking people in the streets, why the police can't simply just run them over. And I'm sure a lot of other people have been thinking that as well, which is why you clicked on this video. So that's why we're going to be diving into a bunch of different situations where this has happened in my hometown of London and many other places where this is normal and it's actually probably for the best, but sometimes for the worst. So stay tuned. In the early hours of a typical day on April 30th, 2024 in Hainault, northeast London, a man crashes his van into a house and then right after reports of a stabbing follow. This is all at 7 AM, keep in mind. He starts his rampage, he attacks a man in the street, a man at home, and then he fatally strikes a young boy called Daniel, which is just a terrible, terrible way to end someone's life. Two officers are seriously hurt trying to intervene and they try and stop this guy.
For the governor,
And it's armed rampage. Tasers are used, batons are used, but at the end of the day, he has a samurai sword. It's by pure luck that they actually managed to restrain him and then he's arrested. But does this not beg the question, could they have stopped him sooner? No. The answer is no. Whether or not you think it's correct is up to you, but the fact of the matter is they are not trained to kill people. That's just not what they're trained to do. So if you do that, you're really going on this cowboy Wild West trip in your career, which is probably not going to end well for you. And let's say for instance they were. What would be the grounds on what you could get rammed with? See, I wouldn't mind getting rammed with a car, okay? But let's say a police officer doesn't like me one day and he's like, let me run him down with this thing right here. Do the laws change? Like what? It's still a car, right? Like what happens then? What if it's a van or a truck? There's police lorries out there. And as we've seen with Chris Cabba, investigations are taken very seriously. And don't get me wrong, I think that is very good. Investigations are very, very good. I mean, a lot of police have done some dodgy things. I think they need to be held accountable. I think most people would agree with that. But it gets to the point where, as a member of the public, it makes you really re-evaluate how much protection you're actually getting. If I'm getting my head kicked in or I'm getting murdered with a sword, I'd want the police to have a bit more than a baton or like a little pepper spray canister to protect me. I want them to be able to run that guy over and stop him from killing people. But at the end of the day, as with most things in this country, bureaucracy gets in the way, and yeah, don't expect to be seeing that anytime soon. Now into the legal side of things, okay? Why don't the police ram attackers? Well, your job could get fucked and your life could get fucked. There's a lot of legal consequences which a lot of police, you know, even with people's lives on the line, probably wouldn't risk. I mean, it is a job at the end of the day. The courts have basically said that in R versus Clegg, which the R is Regina, which is the courts, lethal force has to be proportionate to the threat. In R versus Waterfield, police powers only go as far as what's lawful and reasonable. And in Robinson, the Supreme Court ruled police are responsible if their own actions cause harm. So basically, to put this simply, if an officer rams someone with a car, they'd risk criminal charges. There'd be civil claims and they'd breach human rights under Article 2. You don't want to be breaching human rights in your day job, okay? We just put that there. Constables, officers, it doesn't matter. All the same shit to me. I don't care. So that essentially puts it into perspective on why. But you might be saying, look, the public would be outraged. The public would not stand for that if the police rammed a terrorist and took him down. But honestly, it ain't saving your job. For example, the Lorncastle case. Critics would say he's being way too harsh on a young, troubled lad, but this reads like an Xbox 360 voice chat lobby.
Screaming like a bitch.
Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little...
Yeah, not an exaggeration, but he was fired and no public outcry could save him. The public outcry was actually so great, he raised £133,000. Fucking hell, mate. This might be the strategy. Regardless of what you think, this goes to show that if you go a little bit too proactive, a little bit too aggressive, Some people will love you, but you can still lose your job. And it's the same with ramming someone with the car. You ram a terrorist, you might have the heart of the public, but your job's in the bin, and you could be facing serious charges.
I'm resisting or I'm gonna smash you, do you understand?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
If you get fired, there's no public outcry in the world that's gonna save you. This isn't America. And hey, speaking of America, America, the king of dystopia. You see, there were millions, well not millions, but thousands of videos I could have used, but I think 2 really exemplifies the point enough. I don't think I need to put any more in there. America does not care. The way America works is they have about 5 uses of force, and that's like basically standard across the country. And when it comes to deadly force, they are not worried at all about running people over. In fact, anything's deadly force for them. You could hit someone with a baseball bat if necessary, and that could be justified. And I'm sure it has been justified many times. And look, I'm not going to say this is the best thing in the world. I mean, the first clip was particularly dystopian. Guy was literally running away with his back turned and they still ran him over. And look, I'm not going to read into what happened in these specific cases, but for the most part, if they think there's a deadly threat, they can do whatever they need to end that threat. They can do whatever. They can blow you up. They can shoot you. That happened as well. They blew someone up. They can drop bombs, as they did in Philadelphia. Yeah, people don't really remember this, but they've dropped bombs on gang houses in Philadelphia, in residential streets. So they don't really give a shit. But is this really where we want to get to in the UK? I think we're in a good place, okay? I think that's the best place to end this video on. We are currently in a good place in this country. Rare situations happen where maybe I'd think it would be nice to have a police officer just run them down with a van. But do you really want to make that the norm? That's the question. And I'm going to leave this up to you. Do you think police should be allowed to run people over if people's lives are at risk? Or do you think this opens up a dangerous rabbit hole where innocent people will find themselves murdered by police in a massive police state where we give police superpowers basically in our society to do whatever the hell they want, and immunity pretty much, as could be compared to America? And trust me, we don't want that.